Hello everyone. Welcome back. It is story time. So, get comfy and ready to hear a Halloween story. We're going to be reading Arthur's Halloween by Mark Brown. I'm sure many of you know who Arthur is. But even if you don't, I hope you will enjoy Arthur's Halloween, an Arthur adventure. Sorry about my chipped nails and the outside sounds that we're going to hear. It was the night before Halloween. Arthur's family was busy making the house look spooky. It looked so spooky, in fact, that Arthur had trouble falling asleep. It does look really spooky. Wow. Got all these pets. And Arthur is holding a bowl of candy. And Arthur's dad is putting a flashlight inside a jack-o'-lantern. And Arthur's mom looks like she's sewing a costume. And little DW is taping a big old skeleton to the wall. Look at Arthur's face. Oh my goodness. Things were even worse the next morning. "Help!" screamed Arthur when he opened his eyes. "It's just me," said his sister DW. "Boy, are you jumpy. Don't forget, you have to take me trick-or-treating tonight." She's dressed as a little red devil. And Arthur was very scared. It's really funny. "Do I really have to?" asked Arthur as he ate his cereal. "You really do," said his mother. "And I want to go to every house," said DW. Arthur groaned. "I'll be the only one who has to drag his baby sister along." Got their Aunt Jelly. Arthur is not happy about this. Arthur didn't recognize anyone at school. There was a giant robot in his classroom, taking attendance. "You sound like my teacher, Mr. Marco," said Arthur. "I am your teacher," said the robot. The only one Arthur recognized was the brain. He was wrapped in aluminum foil. "I'm a baked potato," said the brain. Francine passed out the special morning snacks Eat these, she said. They're batwing brownies and vampire blood. Everyone ate them but Arthur. He looks sick. Then they all put on blindfolds. Buster passed around bowls he said were filled with human eyeballs, hearts, and brains. Arthur turned pale. When it was his turn, he wouldn't even touch them. What a scaredy cat, said Francine. Chicken, said Muffy. They're only peeled grapes, jello, and cold spaghetti. Sounds like all this stuff is getting Arthur really good. When it came time to go trick-or-treating, Buster knew which houses to skip. Don't go there, he said. They only give apples. Gross, said Francine. And don't go to the big house on the corner, said Buster. That's the witch's house. My brother saw someone go in there last Halloween and he never came out. Arthur tried not to look afraid. Oh, their costumes are so cute. Francine is a little angel. The brain is a baked potato. Muffy is a little money bag. I don't know her name and I don't know what she's dressed as. Buster is like a cross between a clown and like a Mr. Potato Head. I don't understand his costume, but it's cute. Arthur and his sister had trouble keeping up with the others. First, DW got her tail caught. Then, her bag broke. You're such a pain in the neck, said Arthur. DW must be short for dimwit. But DW didn't answer. Arthur turned around just in time to see her disappear into the witch's house. Oh no. Buster specifically said not to go to that house. She's going into the house. Arthur's hands turned ice cold and his heart began to race. He walked up to the spooky old house. The front door was open, just a crack. Slowly, Arthur went inside. Look, cried Buster. Arthur just went into the witch's house. They're very concerned. Whoa. She'll probably put Arthur and DW into her oven, just like Hansel and Gretel, said Sue Ellen. Maybe she's using them for weird scientific experiments, said the brain. I bet she locked them in the cellar to starve, said Buster. Maybe we should follow them, said Francine. Maybe we should call the police, said Muffy. Everyone was too scared to move. Oh dear. Oh dear. Inside the house, it was very cold. Arthur thought he saw ghosts all around him. He walked down a long, dark hall. At the end, he saw a light under a door. He heard voices. One was his sister's. Oh, there you are, said the witch. We were waiting for you. came to get my sister. We have to go. I hear my mother calling us, said Arthur. I don't hear anything, said D.W. My name is Mrs. Tibble. I hope you won't leave without some cider and donuts first. They're chocolate, your favorite, said D.W. Look at all these cats and their funny little faces. Why do they look human? What do we think? Is she good or is she bad? Is she a witch or is she just a little old lady? I've waited all night for trick-or-treaters, but you're the only ones, said Mrs. Tibble. Years ago, our doorbell never stopped ringing. Maybe it's broken like the windows, said D.W. Mrs. Tibble nodded. It is harder for me to keep up with this big place these days. Maybe if we help fix your yard. Fix up your yard, the place won't look so spooky, said Arthur. That's a good point. That's a good idea, Arthur. Although this jug of apple cider still looks kind of creepy, just the way it looks. Arthur finished his donut as Mrs. Tibble opened the door and turned on the porch light. She gave Arthur and D.W. a big hug. See you Saturday to rake the leaves, said Arthur. Aw, that's so nice. He's gonna rake the leaves. And all the little friends are waiting, all scared. You're still alive, said Francine. I can't believe you went in there alone, said the brain. You're so brave, said Sue Ellen. What's in the bag? Asked Buster. Probably eyeballs, hearts, and brains, said Francine. It's easy to find out, said Arthur. Just close your eyes and reach in, unless you're too scared. The bag of candy. We've been to every house now. Can we take the shortcut home through the cemetery? Asked D.W. She's such a thrill seeker, isn't she? First she went into the witch's house, and now she wants to walk through the cemetery. The cemetery? On Halloween? Are you guys crazy? Asked Francine. Well, D.W. is. Looks like they did. Follow me, said Arthur, as he marched ahead. The cemetery is a great place. People are just dying to get in. Ha 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 ha. Oh, I like how that ended. Walking through the cemetery. Here lies the body of Sally Bent. She kicked up her heels and away she went. Miss Mercy Cobb went up singing. In memory of Captain Stetson, who was killed by a fall of a tree. What? Okay. Alright, everyone, that is the end. I hope you guys enjoyed. reading. I hope you have a happy Halloween if you celebrate. Okay, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, so I just recorded a video of reading this book. And I had a great time doing that. And I also have this book right here. But I've decided to go through this one in a different style. I hope you don't mind. I really hope you don't. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown by Charles M. Schultz. Peanuts. And I thought I would kind of just tell you the story, but in a different way. This book has a lot more pages, and it has a lot more dialogue by the characters. And I really feel like I'm not good at reading dialogue of the characters. So I was thinking I would just kind of do more of a walkthrough of this story and tell you kind of what happens, and we can look at the pictures. I just watched this on TV last night, and it's to the T, it's exactly word for word, scene for scene. So that's pretty cool. So hopefully you'll enjoy this. Okay, so Peanuts. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Peanuts story. Halloween night. I love that sound. Okay. So, oopsie daisy. Nice glossy pages. Yep. There's Charlie Brown. He's happy. I guess because it's autumn. Alright. Charlie Brown and Linus. And every fall, Linus writes a letter. He's writing a letter. And he is writing to the Great Pumpkin, asking for presents. It kind of sounds like he's writing to Santa. Charlie Brown asks him who he's writing to. And Linus explains that on Halloween night, he flies through the air, and he's got a big bag of toys for all the children. So, sounding very much like Santa. Linus' sister Lucy is not happy about that, and he thinks that he looks very silly. And she's being violent as usual. But Sally, who is Charlie Brown's sister and has a big old crush on Linus, doesn't think it's silly. Of course she does not. Linus asks her if she would like to join him and wait for the Great Pumpkin in the pumpkin patch on Halloween night. And of course she would. Of course. So apparently Charlie Brown gets invited to a Halloween party. And Lucy is there to burst his bubble, as usual. She tells him he probably got invited by mistake. She's so mean, but he's gonna go anyway. They're all getting dressed up here. So everyone is gonna go to the party except Linus. He wants to hang out in the pumpkin patch and wait for the Great Pumpkin. And Lucy thinks that is ridiculous. They're all in their little costumes here. A lot of ghosts. Lucy is the witch, and everyone else is kind of just different ghosts. You can see Pigpen's little cloud of dirt all around him. And Charlie Brown has way too many holes in his ghost costume. Then Snoopy walks through the door, and he's dressed as a World War I flying ace. Very impressive costume. So Lucy declares that everyone is going to go trick-or-treating first, and they'll go to the party after. And Linus is going to stay behind and wait in the pumpkin patch by himself. And I guess Lucy is gonna... Sally. Sally's gonna go with them. Sally's gonna go with them as well to the party. What is she gonna do? Is she gonna go or is she gonna stay? You know she's gonna stay. Sally is torn. She doesn't know what to do. Party or Linus? Party or Linus? She runs back to Linus in the pumpkin patch. And Linus convinces her that she's going to see the great pumpkin with her own eyes. So everyone else goes trick-or-treating. Got their little bags here. They're getting candy, chocolate bars, even money. Got a quarter. Charlie Brown got a rock. I don't know how that happened. But he got a rock. So everyone has their bags full of treats. Charlie Brown has a bag full of rocks, and it's time to go to the party. And they pass by the pumpkin patch to see how Linus and Sally are doing. And I think Sally is getting a little impatient. So they go to the Halloween party, and looks like they're drawing on the back of Charlie Brown's head. He's a jack-o'-lantern model. And it looks like his shirt. And Linus and Sally are still waiting in the pumpkin patch. And then they hear a noise, and Linus thinks that it's the great pumpkin rising out of the patch. What does that look like? Who does that look like? Is it the great pumpkin? It is not the great pumpkin. It's just Snoopy in his World War I flying ace costume. But Linus was so excited that he passed out. So Linus wakes up and asks Sally what happened, and she is not happy. She feels very robbed and cheated out of her Halloween night, because it was not the great pumpkin. And she leaves Linus in the pumpkin patch. and he falls asleep in the pumpkin patch and continues to wait. But then Lucy comes and brings him home. I'll read this last page. The next day, Charlie Brown tries to make Linus feel better. "Don't take it too hard that the great pumpkin never showed up," he tells his friend. But Linus doesn't feel let down. "Just wait until next year," he tells Charlie Brown. "I'll find the most sincere pumpkin patch, and I'll sit in that pumpkin patch until the great pumpkin appears." So, Linus was not let down at all, and he has his hopes already set on next Halloween when he's gonna see the great pumpkin. Okay, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that little rendition of It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. If you want to hear a storybook actually being read word for word, I also just posted a video of me reading this one right here.